Welcome back to Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier, sponsored by Four Paws Restaurant, the iconic fine dining restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota. Wonderful food, attentive professional service, and an excellent wine program that is going to be even more excellent starting next week when I return from this amazing trip to the Napa Valley that I've just begun. I'm reporting to you from Turley Cellars in St. Helena. I wish you could see. It's kind of hazy today, and there's a lot of glare, and you can't really see how beautiful this place is. But it's a beautiful place, and I'm lucky to have it as my home away from home for the next few days. I'm going to have a series of uh, wonderful experiences to report to you on between now and Wednesday. One of which is, I expect, going to be absolutely mind-boggling. I'll tell you about that at the appropriate time. But today I did visit Darioush vineyards here in Napa. Um, I mostly chose to visit Darioush because it's owned by Iranian immigrants who've been enormously successful in life and segued that success into this amazing winery. It's really, really, really beautiful place. It is also I think the busiest tasting room I've ever seen. There were just dozens and dozens of people arriving every few minutes and excited to be there and excited to taste the wines and excited to tour this facility. And of course, the owner of Four Paws, Bruce Taher, is also an Iranian immigrant. So I thought it was a good idea for me to visit this winery, taste their wines, which I've tasted before quite a few times. They are superb wines. I tasted the 2023 Estate Chardonnay, the 2022 Shiraz, the 2022 Cabernet Franc, and the 2022 Cabernet Sauvignon. All four wines were wonderful. The Chardonnay is textbook Napa Valley Chardonnay. It's absolutely delicious. It's absolutely on point. But, you know, I'm not sure that the world needs another Napa Valley Chardonnay that's, just a kind of just another Napa Valley Chardonnay. It's a really, really excellent wine, but there's not really anything that sets it apart from other really excellent Napa Valley Chardonnays. And I think I kind of feel the same way about the Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a really excellent wine. I'm sure it gets very high marks from the critics because it's very high quality wine. But, just thinking about considering the idea of putting these wines on our wine list at Four Paws, we really don't necessarily need another relatively expensive Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon on our list. We already have quite a few, and this was just kind of get lost in the sea of Napa Valley Cabernets that cost a little bit of money. But the Shiraz, they call it Shiraz because the owner is from Shiraz. And so rather than calling it Napa Valley Syrah, they call it Shiraz. They say that it's a blend of French Syrah clones and Australian Shiraz clones, which I think comes through in the wines. It has, as I suggested to the person who was pouring the wines for me, who, by the way, was fantastic. They handle it's an incredibly busy place. I've really never seen anything like it, and they just handle it with such amazing aplomb. They're really to be congratulated. Somehow they keep it all under control and pour the right one for the right time. I don't know how they do it. It was impressive. And they also serve you little bites of food with the wines that are actually have some thought behind them, which I think is special, and it's somewhat unusual in my tastings in the Napa Valley back in September. It really seemed like the same caterer was providing the food at every winery I went to because it was basically all exactly the same food, no matter what the wines were. But there were several small bites that were all seemed to be intelligently selected. Anyway, to get back to the Shiraz, it has the kind of deepness and richness and full-bodied and intense fruit of a Barossa Shiraz, but it also has the minerality and more balanced acidity of a Northern Rhone Syrah, which I think is a kind of a very appealing combination. I loved this wine. Um, I loved this wine. I'm going to suggest strongly to my boss who makes these decisions that we add it to the wine list, partly because he and the owner of Darioush are both Iranian immigrants, but partly because I think it's a really, really fantastic wine. And there's nothing really like it that we already have on our wine list. The second wine that I thought was special was the 2022 Cabernet Franc. Um, I asked the person pouring the wines for me if she had noticed that Cabernet Franc seems to be the kind of hot varietal in wine these days. And she said that definitely she did. And I hear this in the restaurant a lot. We serve a Chinon by the glass, which of course is Cabernet Franc from the Loire Valley. When we tell people that we have a Chinon by the glass, their eyes roll back in their heads. But when we tell them we have a French Cabernet Sauvignon by the glass, they immediately want to have a glass of it. So Cabernet Franc seems to be one of the hot red varietals these days. This wine it's textbook, as she and I agreed. Cabernet Franc in its purest form is all about blue fruits. It's blueberries and boysenberries. It's got intense floral character, lavender and well, really lavender and kind of geraniums, and that floral character really comes through the wine. Jasmine really comes through in the wine, and then that blue fruit. It's delicious. It's got a beautiful finish. Um, it's medium bodied plus. It's dry. It's not for a 2022, so 3 years old. The tannins are pretty much resolved. I'd say it's a wine for immediate drinking, immediate pleasure. It's delicious. So that's my report from Darioush Vineyards here in the Napa Valley. I think you should look for the 2022 Darioush Shiraz and the 2022 Darioush Cabernet Franc. And that's not saying you shouldn't look for the 2023 Chardonnay and the 2022 Cabernet Sauvignon. They're both really excellent wines. They just don't stand apart from the crowd as much as I thought the other two wines do, which it's a good thing if the wine stands apart from the crowd. Thanks for joining me on the podcast. As always, come by and see me sometime soon at Four Paws. You can have really a glass of really amazing wine. You can have a bottle of really, really amazing wine and wonderful food and good service. And I think we have the most beautiful patio in the Twin Cities. Stop by and see me soon. Thank you so much.